Christmas Eve. It's a time for family, for sharing meals and celebrating peace. But in the small town of Carnation, Washington, the holiday warmth of 2007 was shattered by a massacre so cold, so calculated it stunned the entire nation. This is the story of the Anderson family murders, a crime born from resentment, jealousy, and years of simmering rage. Carnation seems like a place where crime is a distant thought, but behind the doors of one rural home lived a family struggling with deep-seated tension. The parents, Wayne and Judy Anderson, were hardworking and well-known in the community. They had 2 adult children, Scott and Michele. For years, Michele had harbored a growing belief that she'd been wronged by her family, that she was owed money, respect, something she felt was denied to her. Friends later recalled Michele's constant anger. She claimed her parents favored her brother, Scott, and insisted she'd been cheated financially. Those resentments festered, and on Christmas Eve, her anger finally reached a violent breaking point. Alongside her boyfriend, McEnroe, Michele devised a horrifying plan. It wasn't just about confrontation. It was about elimination. They had 2 loaded guns and a date chosen for maximum impact. Their targets were her own family. On December 24th, 2007, Michele and Joseph drove to the Anderson home. Wayne and Judy let them in, completely unaware of the danger standing in their living room. Within moments, gunfire erupted. Both parents were shot and killed, their holiday evening turning into a scene of unimaginable horror. But the violence wasn't over. A short time later, Michele's brother, Scott, arrived with his wife Erica and their 2 young children, expecting to find Christmas joy. Instead, they walked straight into a nightmare. Panicked and confused, Scott tried to shield his family, but the attackers showed no mercy. Joseph shot both Scott and Erica. Then, in one of the most tragic and haunting acts of the night, the 2 young children were also killed. In total, 6 members of the Anderson family were massacred in their own home. Michele and Joseph spent hours inside, attempting to clean up and cover their tracks, believing they could outsmart investigators. But a disconnected 911 call made by Erica during the attack had already alerted dispatchers. When Wayne and Judy failed to show up for their Christmas shift at the post office, concern grew. On December 26th, deputies arrived at the property and uncovered the brutal scene. Within hours, Michele Anderson and Joseph McEnroe were in custody. Both eventually confessed, though they tried to blame each other. But the evidence was undeniable. This was a premeditated slaughter. After years in the courts, both were sentenced to life in prison without parole. Justice was served, but for the victims, the wounds of a betrayal from within can never truly heal. This case is a chilling reminder of how unresolved anger can twist into something monstrous, stealing 6 lives on a night meant for love and celebration. If you enjoy true crime, unsolved mysteries, and cold case deep dives, subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.